All right. Second, let me make sure. Oh, that was already on. All right, there we go. So, we're back with Elden Ring. Finally, after all these years, From Software finally released the DLC, and I'm finally getting around to it. Took me forever because I was out and busy, and I still need to like actually release that Del Toro Quest thing. I meant to release it earlier today, but I just kind of forgot. I still need to like compile the video, not compile the video, just finish the final exporting of it. But that's gonna be coming out sometime tomorrow. Okay, Leda. So apparently this has a lot to do with Mikola. Touch the withered arm and you will too transported. Hey, Front. Hey, Brutal. Okay, so kindly Mikola is calling us to the Erdtree. Cool, cool. Okay, so one interesting thing is that this area is, like, I'm hitting the, you can't tell, but I'm hitting the attack button. There's this tiny icon in, like, the bottom corner. Oh, you can actually see my mouse. Cool, there's kind of one here, which in From Software game, in Elden Ring, not From Software games, but Elden Ring, means you can't attack people. So, like, the round table hold, you're not allowed to kill people there, unless you get, like, an invasion, which changes the rules. Originally, you could attack this arm, but you can't now, because I guess they decided it's the DLC portal, so no attacking Mikola. Alright. Let's head into the DLC. I do love it when the DLC... From Software always has these, like, disconnected DLCs that are really cool. I really enjoy going to them. All of the From Software DLCs are just amazing. Oh. No cutscene. I was expecting, you know, like a cutscene or something as we get, like, you know, dragged into the Shadow Realm or something like that. Okay. And now we're in the Shadowlands, which is somewhere we don't really know where. Because From Software ain't telling us shit. You gotta earn that. So we touched Mikola's arm and we ended up somewhere else. All we know is this has some... Based on the trailer I've seen, which is what I've been trying to do is avoid spoilers to the best of my ability. All I really know about this place is that it has something to do with where Marika, the god of who broke the ring and started the shattering and all that. The main character, essentially... She was here when she built the what was it, the Golden Order, and bound the Rune of Death and all that stuff. So, the Elden Ring was first forged here, but it was somehow stolen. Yeah, I quieted it down a little more. Do you think it's too quiet, or no? Because I thought it was getting a little too loud. I'm trying to keep an eye on that volume dial and not have it go into the red. I can turn it up a little more. It's interesting. And look, oh, actually, wait. I just thought about something. Well, shit. Wait, why can't I? Okay. Wow, not much here. Jeez. What the hell is this? Tiny little sliver of land. Right, let's head over there and get the map first so we can... First thing when you get into an area, grab the map. So we don't end up lost. Ooh, another Side of Grace. I should also probably swap out my sword. Currently, I'm doing like a Strength Faith build instead of my usual mage shenanigans. I still have some spells, or incantations at least, but they're mostly supplementary to my main weapon. Shadow Realm Blessings. Okay, this must be some new mechanic. I wonder if it's like the, I've heard something about like using them to make things easier. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but I didn't avoid everything. Okay, fine. Is this better? It's louder now. I made it louder. Oh, god damn it! I keep. Okay. So what I was saying is we're about to fight that fire guy though, and I have a blasphemous blade build at the moment, so I'm gonna swap. But fortunately, I have a backup plan for when things have gigantic light fire resistance. So should we go with? Okay. Better. I'll increase it some more. This should be better. We're going to make this a Sacred Affinity. And then we're going to swap this out for the Gargoyle Black Blade. I'm not really sure how this thing's holy damage negation goes. But it'll probably be better than attacking the gigantic flaming monster with fire. Where's the Gargoyle Black Blade? There it is. So we're going to do dual wield 2 holy great swords. It functions in a similar way. It has a big overhead slash thing that can attack things at a range. Whoa! Oh! Okay, I jumped like right into that. Whoa! Oh! Okay, the giant burning wickerman is annoying. Wow, I was expecting something along the lines of a speed of like one of the golems, not something that fast. Holy shit. Damn. Well, I just got wrecked before I even got an attack off. Alright, let's approach this a little more cautiously, because it turns out things in the DLC hurt. Jeez. Alright, let's go for our buffing phase. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down a regeneration, so I don't have to worry about something from my flask. Drop down a golden vow to increase attack damage, and ow, you're annoying. Holy shit! I knew the DLC was gonna hurt, but damn. I have like 50 vigor. I mean, it's not the 60 some people recommend, but jeez. Oh. Oh, that's probably not good. Holy shit! Too loud. And the dogs went crazy. Not a good day today. Ugh. Okay. Pulling it down a bit. Well, the dogs are going crazy in the background, so I apologize for them. And it's too loud? Alright, 1 second. Let me try, here. Alright, let's see. I do apologize for that. Let me go ahead and fix this real quick. Okay, that's about where I want the volume to be, I think. And then we'll cue that. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Alright, now the volume is back here. So that thing has just creamed me twice in a row without even getting close. Its attacks are freaking ridiculous. I'm going to explore around, see what I can figure out about the Shadowlands blessings first. Because I'd heard someone saying that you can like get them and they reduce damage, which sounds a lot like the King Vendrick thing from Dark Souls 2. Basically, there were these giants that you could fight. Or, well, technically there were these giant bodies you could find, go back into the memories to fight them. And if you got their souls, you would be able to reduce the damage you took from his attacks and also the damage that he dealt to you. So maybe it's something like that, where we actually have to like go exploring the area before we're able to fight the bosses effectively. I mean, of course, somebody's going to show us a way to do it in like 2 times. And part of it's probably just going to be getting used to their movesets. But I'm going to look around. What do we got? New type of mushroom? Wonder what kind of consumable we're going to be getting those. I apologize for the dog barking in the background. I can't really do anything about them. I let them in my room because I was hoping they would not go crazy if they were in my room, but then they did, and I had to let them out, which was unfortunate. Let's see, what do we got over here? Alright. Ooh. Just put Blade is upset on the screen. Oh my god. Have you watched another Elden Ring YouTuber do that? Because that is hilarious. The only thing you can do is make it a bit? Okay. Let me see if I can pull something like that real quick. 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and actually make that a thing. Let's see. Text. Yeah, I can do that real quick, actually. Let's see here. Add new source. Text. Blight is upset. No, I'm just that funny. Well, put it down here. Alright, they've stopped barking for now, but when they start barking again... Ooh, hello. So I'm really curious, like, what the hell the deal is with Mikola here? Like, what was he doing? I'm not sure if you know much about Mikola, but his whole thing was he was, like, the perfect son that everyone kind of loved. And Melania he was Melania's brother. He might have also been someone called Saint Trina. There's a lot of theories that he like had like a masculine and feminine persona. And he was also cursed with eternal youth, while Melania was cursed with eternal rot. Okay, we got a Erdtree fragment. Erdtree? That just sounds dirty. Does that sound dirty to you? Or is my mind just in the gutter? Erdtree. That just doesn't sound pleasant. Okay. Jump attack for the win. Oh. Except when you miss. Well, the normal enemies at least seem to go down quickly. I mean... You know, boss killed me in 2 hits, even though I had 50 vigor, but I can always respec for more vigor if I really need it. I put some extra points and leveled up a bit. Scat, moon, poop. Okay, so it is very dirty. So, poop tree. Good to know. Scadu. What's scad? Like, is there any word that is SCAD? Killing some seat for some beast bones in case we find a crafting recipe we like. Need to find more of those fragments, I'm guessing. Or probably go to the Grace and see what they do. Let's look around some more. We've got a map, so what are some major landmarks around here? So we got this upper area. Oh, wow. There's a lot going on over here. So that could be a place to explore. There's some stuff down further south, it looks like, because the fog wall is it's cut off right here, so it doesn't show the sea. So that means there's more to explore over here. Church of Consolation. Church of Consolation. So I guess these are like the sacred tears we find in the Churches of America. But those upgrade the efficiency of our Crimson Flask and Cerulean Flask tiers, so what does the other stuff do? We'll swap back to the Blasphemous Blade so we have a good health regen. Blasphemy got nerfed, it no longer knocked people down, but quite frankly, even with the nerf, it's still a ridiculously good weapon, because whenever the gigantic flaming skill hits people, it heals you, which is, quite frankly, just absurd. What was that screech? Hell was that? Something just like randomly screeched. Where are you? Someone around here? No? Nothing? Oh, there he is. Whoa! Feral human! Feral human! That was a bad idea. A guy in a loincloth wearing bear claws just attacked me out of nowhere. Feral human alert. Feral human alert. I think that guy was human. You never know. Okay. And, of course, it starts raining. I mean, that actually could be a good thing. It might be a good thing to wait for some rain and fight him, because the rain does reduce fire damage by a decent amount. I think it's like a 20% debuff to fire damage, which sucks for my Blasphemous Blade, but also is kind of nice when you take into account the giant flaming Wicker Man thing over there. Seriously, what the hell is that thing? I'm gonna go retrieve my runes, and then I'm gonna go back to the Grace after I kill that beast man. Who blew a freaking war horn before he attacked me. That sounded like some random kid screeching in the woods. Ugh, I'm getting horror movie vibes from this guy. Alright. Where is he? There he is. Damn. Whoa. Holy jeez. Those bear claws are fast. Whoa. And they actually do pretty good damage. It's the DLC, though, that's to be expected. Oh, they know how to do dodge jump attacks. Okay. Ow, that was punished severely. Okay, so the AI actually knows how to deal with jump attacks. I'm a little scared now. Alright, back up, back up, back up. Holy, it can dodge the Blasphemous Blade by jumping over it? Since when did they program the NPCs to do that? I don't think I've seen an NPC dodge something by jumping. Like, at all. Ever. Oh shit, they upgraded the NPCs. Oh, I might actually be in trouble here. This guy's... Hone Bolt him. Good old Hone Bolt. Lightning damage gets a buff in the rain. And I'm out of FP. When in doubt, cheese from a distance. Alright. I think we got him now. Hit him hard. Yes! Victory is ours. These things were pretty cool, actually, I gotta say. The Beast Claws looked frickin' awesome when they used. I heard there were these martial art palm weapons, but that was like a crazy, crazy effect. Let me see. Oh my god, you actually get the movement too. Look at that. That's some crazy shit right there. These are weird. I kind of like them. They remind me a lot of like the Transform Beast Claw moveset from Bloodborne. I might play around with those a bit, maybe eventually, but not right now. I kind of want to stick with the weapon I actually know how to use. And yes, I have far too many weapons in my inventory. I probably need to send them back to like my chest or whatever, so it's not... It would make it easier to hard swap to stuff, but I don't necessarily need to do that much right now, so we'll keep it there for the moment being. Let's see. Head up here. When in doubt, go to a weird place and see if the developers left an item. Oh dear, what was that? That sounded like that whistle. I thought I killed the beast man. Please tell me there aren't more of him. Please no. I beg of you. That guy was like nearly boss level difficulty. Not quite, more like a mini boss, but like if there are multiples of that guy, I'm gonna be a little scared. Let's see. What do we got? So, just a bunch of rain and a bunch of weird phantom... What is with these gravestones? They're like weird holy phantoms. They have the same glow as like holy damage. But they're like these weird phantom gravestones everywhere. What's that supposed to mean? From Software, give me lore. Actually, we just got an item, so we should probably check the lore. It's a great time for some information. I should probably just have looped around. Weapon in the form of a carnivorous beast's vicious claws. Used to perform bestial slashing attacks uncanny to human time. An imitation of the esoteric techniques of the Horned Warriors. Those who carry this weapon wield it as though they've been possessed by a savage beast. Huh. Wait, are the Horned Warriors the guys in like the Nokron area or the Nostella areas of the game? I think that's who they are. That's interesting. Ooh, Shadowrun Blessing. Okay, so what does this do? Erdtree Blessing has been empowered? I have no idea what that means. But, oh, wait. Okay, so it looks like my damage got buffed, and my resistances all got buffed. Okay, so yeah, it's like the giant souls in Dark Souls 2. But that was like for one fight. This looks like it's for like the whole area. So, oh, that's kind of cool because they can actually scale you. They actually found a way to basically just have like a pseudo leveling system in the DLC. As you find these, scadu, well, what were they called again? Fragments of the scadu tree or whatever. You're gonna be able to get stronger, but without having to level up specifically. So you start very under level, but you basically get a separate leveling specifically for this area. That's interesting. I kind of like it. I know other games have played around with it, but I think it's the first time From Software has done something like that outside of the fight with Vendrick. I think that, if I can remember right, I think we have our fight. Fight with Vendrick in Dark Souls 2 was the only other time I've seen something like this in one of their games. But we got a boss fight. That's not the giant flaming thing. What do we got? Black Gowl Knight. Doesn't look that impressive. Oh my god! That crossbow! What on earth was that? Okay, From Software, what did you just do to me? So, do not get hit by the frickin' crossbow. You will die immediately. So this guy is not going to let you stand still and do stuff. Okay, let's try buffing ourselves, and we'll probably try and go for the Mimic tier as well. Oh, I can't even summon the Mimic tier here. Okay, that thing is terrifying. Do not let him stand there. Do not try and fight him at a range. He will win. Or he'll win at close range too? I underestimated him. Okay, yeah, I need to collect more of those fragments. Jeez. Whoa. Ow. Super ow. And no, you do not get to heal. Rude. Only I get to heal. Bosses aren't allowed to do that. What are you, Melania? Benefit of bosses that heal. They don't always realize when their healing items are gone. Okay, come on. So they tend to be a little vulnerable. Alright, come on. Okay, I can do this. I can get this guy. I got his number now. The physics flash will... I need to drink the physics flash before I go in too. If I buff with all that stuff, it should give me enough healing and stamina resistance and everything to take him out. So let's go for it. Alright. From Software, you always know how to make me feel challenged. I can always count on them to pound my head into the ground to give me a good time. Alright. Go with Golden Bow next. Stack all our buffs. Drink the physics here, which will increase my fire damage for my Blasphemous Blade and my Holy Blade. I probably should flick that one to fire because he's probably resistant to Holy, but... Oh, no, you don't, buddy. Yeah. Number 3 is going to be the time, I think. Got him. 3 attempts. Good number. Decent number. He was a pretty basic enemy. The main thing that got me was, A, his damage is absurd. For reference, I have like 1600 HP and he was killing me in 2 or 3 shots. So he was doing pretty damn good damage. Actually, he would have killed me in like a little over 2 shots. Basically 2 shots. So he was doing around 1800 a hit with that sword. Not 1800, 800 a hit with that sword. That's with all the resistances I have. Because I'm actually wearing pretty decent armor. The Tree Sentinels is one of the heaviest sets I own. I think it's like number 4. Yeah, when it comes to physical resistance, there are very few sets that are better than this. Actually, I think it might be like the 3rd best set of armor I own. Yeah, my chest plate is a little bit weaker, but that's because it gives me jump attack extra damage, which is, as you saw, very good. But I got his armor and weapons, so that's pretty cool. Actually, his sword looks pretty awesome, I gotta say. This kind of is awesome, and I don't think it steals off... Yeah, it's a purely... It's almost like a physical version of the kind of sword I'm using now. It has that same kind of thing the Black Blade would do, so if I run into something that doesn't have a lot of good physical resistance... If, like, has a bunch of elemental resistances, it might be worth it to pull this out. I want to make sure there are no items around here. Something like a physical range slash sword could be kind of nice. Wonder if I can infuse it with anything. It might actually be a good replacement for the Gargoyle Sacred... The Gargoyle Black Blade. Not the Gargoyle Black Blade. The Gargoyle Greatsword, maybe. We'll just see. What the hell? What are these things? Are they enemies? Let me see. Oh my gods, they are. Oh no. Oh no. What the actual hell did I just do? Oh, they're like the jellyfish, where they don't get angry until you hit one of them. And they get very angry. Oh my. What the hell are they, though? Like, the phantom jellyfish I kind of get. They're, you know, phantom jellyfish. It's actually not that hard of a concept. These things are just... bizarre. Did it debuff me with that string? Yeah, I think it debuffed me somehow. Oh, I can't jump. I can't do anything. I'm like paralyzed. Those are annoying. Okay, so let's not mess with these things in the future. Let's get out of here. So I killed a random Gal Knight. Dropped his armor set and a new weapon, which is kind of nice. Always good to have some new tools. Might play around with it later. Oh joy, Miyazaki has created more evil birds. Yeah, we're not going to see what kind of horrible thing you can do to me once you're in the air. I don't want to know. Whatever Marika did here was a little effed up. I'm guessing all the gravestones kind of gave that away already, but... To be fair, the Golden Order is kind of... Like, if you're going for a moral playthrough, you probably don't side with the Golden Order. You might side with Goldmask because he apparently fixed the Golden Order, because apparently he came to the realization... He was like a big prophet kind of character for the Golden Order, and he believed in it, but as time passed, he came to the realization that Marika was just as flawed despite being a god as any of them, and so anything she created had a flaw as well. But he managed to find the flaw she made, so something made free of both the flaws of man and god, something like that, to ruin a perfect order. It's one of the endings for the game. Marika, or, well, I say Marika, Marika. You can say, I've heard some people pronounce it, I think it's officially Marika. I've heard other people pronounce it Marika, but, you know, the game usually pronounces it Marika. I know, Marika, though, yeah, I can see I can see how that sounds like that. Alright, we're gonna use that for holy. Should I try, you know what, I'm gonna go a resistance buff for fire specifically, or... I kind of want to use my damage buff, but at the same time, no. That's not a good idea, so what we're gonna do instead is instead of the damage amplifier, we're going to put on the protection of the Erdtree, which should give me more negation against everything that's not physical. Golden Vow should give me a bit on everything as well, including physical. And then I'll have the Blessing regenning me. So let's hopefully see if that works. Swap in the Gargoyle Blackblade again. And let's see if we can actually fight this thing now that we're a little tougher. I was trying to dodge that. There's a way you can like become invincible if you jump at your horse, but I can never seem to do it correctly. Holy jeez. Oh, I probably should have buffed myself first. That was my mistake. Hey, I rolled through that attack at least. Oh no. See, this kids is why we buff before we get into the fight. Also, wait. Did it just flush me down the drain of fire? What the actual... Was I being flushed down a fire toilet? What? Miyazaki, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with him? Like, who makes something like that? Why would you make something like that? Why would it spin? Why would I not just be dropped into the pyre? I don't understand. I'm so confused. I have a feeling this thing is going to be my, like, hated enemy. Alright, I'm going to try and see if I can get under it and activate the Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. Because that's really good against big enemies like this, but I've got to get under it, too. Okay. What the actual hell? My attacks are doing, like, piss damage. Please tell me this thing doesn't have a shit ton of holy resistance. Of course it has holy resistance. This is the end game, right? Where holy resistance just becomes a joke. Oh no. Oh dear. I don't like that. Okay. So, it's still tough. I'm getting the hang of some of its attacks, though. Yeah, that I just got stepped on. Ow. Alright, that must be a jump attack that I have, or a jump dodge. I'm doing, like, tiny damage with one of the most powerful spells I own. What the? Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and try and run past this guy and come back a little later, because that damage is frickin'... It's not even the damage. I could deal with being 2 or 3 shot. I used to play at like 30 vitality in my mage build, so I'm actually kind of used to dealing with bosses like that. It's mostly just that I'm not dealing good damage. Maybe it's resistant to holy, but if it's resistant to holy and fire, I have no freaking clue what I'm supposed to do against it. That's kind of my the main two things I do. I kind of... In-game fire bosses are kind of my enemy here. And if this is going to be a representation of the kind of bosses we're going to see... Ooh, shoot. Ooh. Uh-oh. Torrent's about to die. I might need to get more of those little fragments. I do love when the enemies kill themselves. Backhand blade. Oh my, yeah, it's not giving up, is it? It's gonna keep kicking those rocks at me. Hey, I have like no ranged attacks other than kicking the rocks and setting them on fire. Come on. This is like supposed to be like a forsaken ground place. You'd think this would be like one of the areas where holy damage would shine a bit more. Maybe it is, and I'm just can't tell, but it might just be the boss, but I genuinely wonder if it's the fragments or not. It's hard to tell, because I know in the end game of like base Elden Ring, holy damage is just everything resisted in the late game. Like the final, 3-4 bosses have really good holy resistance. The last 2 in particular have a bunch of holy resistance. Even the birds here are just crazy. I do like the design of the weird golem birds, though. I do. It reminds me of the weird bird robot from Archer's space bearing season. That was weird. They had Barry and like a giant robot chicken. Very strange. But then again, it was the Coma seasons. They're a bit of a mixed bag. Hey, look! It's the person who was at Mikkel's arm. That seemed to make sense. No, wait. Different person. Never mind. Oh, purpose. Okay. My kind are not forgiven? Okay. Huh. I mean, Marika did some terrible things. We are looking for Mikkel. He's like the last of the demigods. I mean, Ronnie sort of is here, but Ronnie's pretty decent, all things considered. She just wants to usher in a new age of magic. Of her Dark Moon and all that. Cross map. Okay, so he's sending us somewhere. He's saying if we're looking for Mikkel, he can help us find him, so... Hopefully he's not one of the NPCs who's leading us into a trap. You never know with From Software. They can be like the most earnest people in the world, and then they lead you into a trap and kill you. It's just the way they operate. Let's see. Letter to Patches, Roger's letter, Celia's secret, meeting place map. Cross map, here it is. Wish I could zoom in on that a bit more. Okay, so there's a marked location of golden crosses. These crosses indicate Mikkela's footprints. So Mikkela came here for some reason, but why? Why would he come here? Oh, look, a Erdtree fragment. Hello, random person. Oh, good. So Letta was the person who let me into the arm. Wait, you followed all the time for Dawn? Whoa, wait. She followed aside the gigantic living comet. Wait, didn't Melania fight Radon? Wasn't she like Mikkela's blade and all that? So why would a follower of Radon be after Mikkela? Then again, everybody liked Mikkela. He was like the good son. Okay. So everybody's like, hey, you're probably trying to find Mikkela, so are we all. Isn't he the best? It's almost suspicious how many people like Mikkela. Then again, there aren't really a lot of good leaders to choose from in the Lands Between. I mean, Melania was apparently a pretty good leader, but she also followed Mikkela. She was more his general and blade, and sister. So she's under his. Radon's become a ravaged husk of his former self due to the Scarlet Rot when he fought Melania. Moog's a child toucher. Let's see. Morgott was kind of an asshole, but he did keep Leyndell in check. But, you know, we killed him. And let's see, what else? What else? Where are the other demigods? What the hell? I have no idea what just happened. I think the game just randomly crashed. That hasn't happened on Elden Ring before. That's not a great sign. When the game randomly crashes. I didn't even notice anything going wrong. Like, I didn't, like, it wasn't like the game just suddenly started slowing. It just immediately freaking come down. America, fuck y'all, coming to save the day again. I think the fuck y'all comment got, like, censored out by the YouTube censor thing. But it showed up on the stream log anyway, so I'm just like, hey, it's there. If you want to say something that gets past the censor log, apparently, you just let Streamlabs deal with it. Apparently it doesn't filter the same way YouTube does. That was weird, though. Okay, let's try going here again. I really hope the DLC isn't actually this broken. Maybe it's a good thing I waited 2 weeks after release to get started on it. Okay, let's go forward again. Come on, game. Don't break on me. Slash that guy. Alright, we look like we're in the clear now. I have no idea what just happened, but for some reason the game decided to crash. Don't know why, it just happened. But yeah, Mikola was basically the golden child of the Golden Order. He was... Well, technically he was like a pure demigod or something like that. He was the son of Marika and Radagon, but then we learned Radagon was actually just also Marika. So she impregnated herself somehow and gave birth to twins. And then maybe also Melina. We don't really know. Yes, we get it. Mikola's the best. We get it. Everybody loves Mikola. Yeah. Okay. Okay, he's actually pretty smart. He's like, I'd like to know what his goals are before I serve him. Hey, identical to this one have been discovered in these lands. Which mark would he have left behind? Yes, I'd very much like to know where Mikola is. I would like to know what Mikola is doing. I would like to know what the hell Mikola is doing. He came to this forbidden land for some reason, and we have literally just no clue why. The trailers give us, like, basically no hints. Other than there's probably another demigod child of Marika. She used to burn this place to the ground. The guy with the snake. Okay, he found a bunch of stuff. Cool. Hey, I can always use some rune arcs, but I lost a bunch of my runes. I had like 300,000 saved up for the shops, and then I just lost them all in that boss fight. Oh well. We'll earn some more. And if not, I can always farm between stream videos. So, what do we got here? Mikola thought this place was important if the cross outside is any indication. So what about it was important? Honestly, I just want to know where we are. It says it's the Shadowlands. And it's somewhere beyond the Erdtree's grace, but... Are we in, like, literally in the shadow of the Erdtree? Like, inside its darkness or something? It doesn't seem like we're in a physical place, but we have to be. Right? Because Marika was born here was here beforehand. Also, Scorpion. That must be what the Scorpion God used to look like. His aspects are kind of weak, though. They went down a single hit. What do we got in here? Oh my! The Rock God servants, I'm guessing. We found, like, a stinger, and apparently there are a lot of, like, outer gods, essentially. Think, like, Lovecraft-style outer gods. The main one in Elden Ring is the Greater Will. It's the one that empowered Marika to become a god. Oh, the dogs are barking again. Not sure if you can hear them. Blade is upset. Blade is upset, everybody. Anyway, like, Blide. I should call him Blide, because I think that's what Kale called him. Or Kale. Technically, Blide called him Kale, so I should probably call him Kale. Wow, these things die really easily. What was I saying? Oh, right. So you had the Greater Will, which is the Golden Order's god. Or, not really god. Marika was the god, but the Greater Will was this external force that sent down the Elden Beast and encouraged Marika to become a god. They work through Empyreans, which are people who, for whatever reason, are able to inherit godhood. And they can be literally anyone. Like, I think a dragon was an older god. There's been a rot god who manifested to a giant scorpion and tried to manifest through Melania. But in recent years, Marika's offspring have all been deemed Empyreans. And that's why they were all fighting over the Elden Ring, because whoever reforged it would basically become the new god of the Lands Between. But of course, the Greater Will is not the only outer god that was looking for an Empyrean. You had the Frenzy Flame, obviously, which was sort of like the Greater Will. The Greater Will was about vague concepts, but mostly about order, it seemed. Which, you know, tyranny and order are pretty going hand in hand. But it was, yeah, about incorporating stuff into itself and just kind of owning the Lands Between for whatever reason. The Frenzy Flame, however, was grown from, like, the division of minds, so it wanted everything to be fused back together into one gestalt in consciousness. So burn the world until there's no division between anything else and it's all just internally burning fire. Ah, finally, enemies that don't die in a single hit. Good to see. You also had the God of Rot, which I talked about before. It had an aspect which was like a giant scorpion thing a long time ago that was sealed away. But it was also trying to manifest through Melania, which it had cursed her since she was born, because it turns out having kids with yourself has some consequences. Mikola got eternal youth, and Melania got poisoned with scarlet rot. And became a vessel for the rot god. There was also the eternal serpent, which may or may not be related to an outer god, or may just be some kind of monster that ate Rykard. What else? What else? Oh, Moog, the guy who stole Mikola away, and we killed to get to that egg. He was touched by the Formless Mother. He was an omen, so they were tied to the Erdtree. But the horns they wear are seen as like a disgrace these days. It's not part of the Golden Order, heresy, and all that jazz. So they're usually locked away for nobles or killed if you're not a noble. Mesmer's grease. Ooh, Mesmer fire grease. Mesmer is somebody who was in the trailers. That guy with the flames and the giant snake wrapped around him like a scarf. Interested to see about that, because I think he's probably another child of America, most likely. One of her earlier children, to be precise. Like, really early. Morgoth and Moog were imprisoned beneath the Lanedale capital. After the shattering happened, Morgoth basically crawled out of the sewers and started ruling over Lanedale because, hey, he may be an omen, but he's also the son of a, god and technically an Empyrean, so do as you please, I guess. When everyone else is gone, we'll literally just take anyone, even if you are technically a heretical abomination by the Golden Order standards. But Morgoth was really loyal. Moog was not, however. He escaped the sewers sometime, possibly during or before the shadowing. Oh. It's like a golden shard spiral. That's kind of cool, actually. And he encountered the Formless Mother, which was basically this being that wanted... It was all about blood and wounds. So a lot of his attacks are literally him, like, wounding the Formless Mother and throwing her burning blood at his enemies. She's also an outer god who wanted Moog to form a dynasty that would rule over the lands between. And we don't really know why these gods are fighting over this area. We do know there's an outer world, but the lands between seems to be, well, the lands between. It's a place, maybe it's sort of a place in between the outer world, where these outer gods dwell and the physical reality. We don't really know why they want the lands between and what's so important about the Erdtree and why all of them have plans for it, but they just do. God damn it, I really wish I was... Alright, I'm going to kill this guy. Come on, get over here. You know, if you're not going to get over here, I can just do that. I have ranged options, you a-hole. Alright. Now let's get these... I know I'm usually the asshole mage. Oh, come on. There we go. Got him. Anyway, you got a bunch of outer gods. There's also the moons, which may or may not be outer gods. We don't really know. Long story short, there's the Carrion Royals who like have a thing with the stars. And one of them, Renala, saw a vision of a full moon that granted her insight and helped her seduce the Carian school of sorcery. She had a child with Radagon, who, remember, is actually just Marika. And her child... Oh, the dogs have stopped barking. I guess I can turn off the Blade is Upset marker. And their children were Radagon... No, not Radagon. Radon, Ronnie, and... God, what was the other child? Oh, Rykard. So, Rykard got eaten by a serpent and wanted to devour all the gods. For whatever reason, we don't really know. There's a lot of we don't knows here, actually. The more I talk about Elden Ring lore, the more I have to repeat the phrase, I don't know. We don't really know. We don't really know. The gods be crazy like that. Anyway, Radon was a scholar, sort of, but he was also a warrior. He studied under the School of Sorcery, wanted to bind the stars in place, either to save Celia from being destroyed by a stell or a meteor. Oh, the yellow sparkle? I was just kind of like the danger eyes, like the glint in the eye thing. it ended up working out. I just kind of had the idea of like, you know, in like an anime or a manga when you have the shaded face and the eye glints. That's kind of what I was going for there. All the doors are locked. They don't know the way forward. But yeah, the demigods be crazy. I did enjoy making that, though. Oh, hey! This is my first person who's not... Oh my god! What the actual hell, person? Your combo chain. Will it end? Will you stagger? Dude, what is your poise? Man just, like, powered through the entire goddamn overhead swing. I was like bashing him over the head with 2 greatsword, and he was just like, I don't give a shit. I have poise for days, buddy. Hyper armor too. I don't care if you're smacking me in the face. Try jumping. See, I'm a smart person though. I know you can test things out. Yeah, kind of like that. America with... You just... yes. That. America with a bowler, but I'm stronger. Eyes glow. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Alright, let's see. Where do I have these? I know I have some of them. Oh, here they are. So these will, like, tell me if the fall damage is survivable. Yeah, that's not survivable. You're an asshole. Disparage. Unfortunately, you don't get to poison them for giving them a bad message. But if you say it's a good message, they get a random heal, which can be weirdly useful. So laying down messages is actually, like, technically something you should be doing. But I don't like to spam random stuff, so, you know. I do love having a jump button in a Dark Souls game, I gotta say that. I tried playing... I still love playing Bloodborne. It's still my favorite Soulsborne game, but man, are there times where I'm just like, can I just get a jump button so I don't have to do, like, a running roll jump? Because, like, in the other games, you had to, like, be running, and then you could, like, double tap the run or / dodge button in order to do a jump, or click the middle stick, and it was like, alright, can I just, like, stand here and jump forward? That would be nice. Because Miyazaki loves giving us platforming segments from hell. Which, for some reason, all the other Souls-like game developers decided that was totally something... Oh my god, string. The rarest of all items. Actually, there was something really cool they did in a recent patch, where, and I'm actually very much in favor of this. They made it so that if you're doing PvP in the Coliseum, which is where you basically just get a dueling arena, when you use consumables in the Coliseum, they get restored afterwards, so you don't actually use them up. Because string is apparently just really hard to farm in this game. It only drops from a handful of enemies, and it's like a really low drop rate. It's a pain to farm, but the string, like, coatings for weapons that you can use for different stats effects and stuff are really powerful. And they also have these pots that throw behind you instead of in front of you that can also be useful and are good at building up status afflictments. But the problem is, if you want to use any of those, you have to farm a ton of string, and so PvP players hated it. But now they're like, oh yeah, you can use any item in the Coliseum and it'll just be restored afterwards. It also means there are some items you only get a limited number of in the game that you can feel free to use in the Coliseum. Actually, there's one in particular that I'm not sure if PvP players really care about, but the Radiant Baldakian's Blessing is really cool. You only get one of these in the game. You get it at the end of Fia's questline. It massively boosts your poise, allowing you to tank damage and, like, attack through other attacks. And it lasts a lot longer than the normal version, which also the normal version debuffs your health, but this doesn't. However, because you only get one of them, if you used it in PvP, it was basically just gone forever. And since Fia's generally either dead or asleep, you can't exactly get another one. You only get one of them, and you can't get any more. Oh my god, that's annoying. Stop. But now, in PvP, you can actually equip it. One thing I actually did with items like that, items where it's like a very limited supply, or I'd have to, like, craft new ones and stuff like that, I would actually give it to my Mimic tier. Like, put it in my inventory, and then the Mimic tier would have it. Like, the Sleep Pots, for example, I'll equip those when I go fight the Godskin duo, because it's an insanely annoying duo fight. But if you get the Mimic tier, honestly, if you just have the Sleep Pots, the fight isn't that bad. I don't understand why people hate the fight so much, because, yeah, it's annoying on its own, but as long as you have Sleep Pots, and you can put one in sleep while you deal with the first one, it's fine. It's a doable fight. I don't understand why you'd ever fight them without using Sleep Pots, but, you know, that's me being optimal. Oh shit. Get dead. But yeah, being able to have the Baldarian's Blessing is probably makes it a fun PvP item. And actually a good reward for Fia's Flesh for PvP players. So there's a reason you want to do that. Granted, it's probably not going to last the entire duel, but it'll last most of it, I think, with the extended time frame. I think it'll last like two minutes or like 3 minutes, maybe? So I think it'll last most of a duel. Which is pretty good, all things considered. It lasts about as long as like some of the flask effects, I think. So yeah, I really like that because it lets you play around with items. It also means the PvP arena is a great place to play around with items to get their timings down, I feel. Especially if you're playing around with them at a lower level where things are less serious. I was just really impressed with it. It's a minor change, but it's a really cool minor change. Okay, that's a weird spell. I can mostly dodge. Alright, mage, you need to be dealt with. Sorry. Get wrecked. I am really interested to play around with some of the new spells and sorceries, though. One of the things I love, even more than weapons. Yeah, there's always some cool weapons in the DLCs, but man, are the magic effects always awesome. Gods and Bloodborne. If you go without the DLC, you don't even have access. You don't have access to any good arcane equipment without the DLC, in my opinion. Yeah, you have some, like the Logarius Wheel or the Moonlight, the Moonlight Greatsword, which is in every From Software game. But you don't, and you get access to Argor Vibrius, which is still like the OP, canon effect. But you get this, oh my god, what the hell is this thing? Don't like that, don't like that. Okay, got him. What's with all the curved pillars? Is there some significance to that? I've noticed like we have like the spiral curving effects on the spells, so maybe it's like a motif. I'm gonna go ahead and Physics Flask and activate Blessing of the Erdtree to start regenerating health. I should have done that earlier. And I'll go to Protection of the Erdtree too while I'm at it. Oh, and then I immediately get to it. I was buffing, hoping to in case I have running to enemies, and then I immediately find the Grace. Oh, great, love it. A summon sign? Hey, it's Freya! Sorry, I got the best summon in the world. Myself. Mimic Tear is great. So what's this? Oh, I saw him in the trailer too. I think. Yeah, I think this is who I saw in the trailer. That weird lion dancer. Ooh, cutscene. They look like they have almost like omen horns. Yeah, it's like some puppet that's being controlled by people inside it. See? You can even hear, like, the clay. It's like they're, like, moving around with armor and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. It's not actually a monster. It's a bunch of people in, like, a dragon parade outfit, essentially. But for war? I don't think I've ever seen someone basically wearing a costume as a multi-person costume as a war outfit. That's kind of an interesting idea. Not gonna lie. Ow. Okay. Well, that went down like immediately. Jeez. I probably should have gone to 6. You know what? I really should reset my faith to 50 and go my HP up to 60. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that real quick. So, map menu. Show the lands between. I'm going to go to Renala real quick. Rinalda's still around. She was heartbroken and distraught when Radagon left her, so he left her a piece of the Elden Ring for some reason inside a egg that she can use to rebirth people. It's a weird mechanic. It's a weird way to add it in. Alright, let's just bring this up to 60, bring the faith down to 50. Because I just need more health. Flat out. Bring this up to 50. I'm going to keep the arcane. I don't really need arcane anymore this time. I think I only need like 10 for one of the things I'm using. I don't really use the rot breath anymore. I might as well go max for later, so 804. I go up by 3 if I do that. Yeah, I think increasing strength more. Strength up to 45 and endurance up to 31. Make sure I can still roll properly. Yep. Still at light equip load. Alright, let's hop back to the Shadow World. Back into the Shadow Realm. Stage front. So this is like a stage. Also, what's with the boats in the loading screen? It reminds me a lot of, like, destroyed Lanedale. Way later, though. Like, once you do the whole Blackblade thing. Alright, Line Dancer. Let's do this. First, we're going to let you distract my Mimic. Blessing of the Erdtree to give everybody regeneration. And he's after me already. Shit. I was trying to buff. They've learned their lesson. They don't let you buff before fights as much anymore. From Software learned their goddamn lesson with the Moog fight. You can just like laser beam them down if you have the right magic build. Alright, there we go. Blasphemous Blade. Oh wait, no, this isn't the Blasphemous Blade. Shit. Okay, we're going to be swapping in the middle of a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that'll work better. Oh my, he just went full Super Saiyan. Damn. This man turned into a freaking lion dragon. Okay, I don't want to be caught inside the lightning storm. Ow! So this extra endurance is very useful. Well, at least the Blasphemous Blade is keeping me alive. Oh boy, that hurt. He's turning into like a living storm. This is actually pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Lightning and frost and everything, man. He's like the Lord of the Seasons. Whew. What a crazy motherfucker. That guy is nuts. Alright, let's dodge this attack before we summon the ashes this time. Whoa. How is he even doing that? How are you frickin' jumping in the air and flying all over the place? You're a frickin' dancer. Ow. Protection of the Erdtree. Golden Vow. Well, it's definitely helping with the damage. Alright. Go for him now. And here comes the frostbite. Davis does not want to see what that's doing. Oh, no, 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 no. Alright, Wondrous Physique. Let's go for it. Okay, do not want to get procced with Frostbite. That would be very bad, I feel. Shit. Another one coming. There are hardly any even opportunities to freaking get out of the way. Oh my god. Can't get hit, can't get hit. Come on, come on, come on. How is he still freaking alive? Ugh. Oh my god. That thing was freaking crazy. It was jumping all over the walls, flying in the air. They summoned the power of the Lion Dragon. The Lion Dragon of the Four Seasons or something like that. Divine Beast Head. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, that's a heavy piece of equipment. Ritual headwear in the form of a Divine Beast's head, used to perform the Lion Dance. Formed by the finest of the sculpted keepers. Alas, it no longer responds to the old woman's earnest prayers? Divine Evocation heightens intensity of storm alongside strength and dexterity, but reduces the restorative effect of blast from sacred tears. Focus is also troubled. So I'm guessing it increases lightning damage, strength, and dexterity. It increases lightning damage, and it also lets you get more dex and strength, but at the cost of losing focus and less healing from your flasks. Interesting. That's a lot of effects on a headpiece, actually. Most headpieces have, like, a few basic things, like a minor, maybe like a buff and a debuff or something combined. Not something that great. Reverend Spirit Ash Blessings. To empower blessing. Oh, that must be empower my Spirit Ashes, like they empower me. So I guess it also buffs my Mimic Tier? So the Scatter Tree Blessing blesses me, and the Spirit Ashes are blessed by that. Huh. Interesting. Also, good gods, look at my... Wait, let me see what the difference in these numbers. I have 1,223 in here. I want to see how big of an effect this is with just, like, 2 of these. Let's go back to, like, the Church of the Cuckoo or whatever, and look at the numbers. So, 123, and then I had a bunch of 30s, I think, for most of my defenses. Oh my gosh, that's over 200 damage and, like, 3 to, like, I think that's, like, what was it, 34? So it's, like, 7% damage negation off, like, 2 of them. And like 200 additional damage. No wonder. Oh, that's like a 20% damage increase. No, it's more than that. It's got to be more than that. That's insane. That's what 2 of those fragments. So what? I'm probably getting around like... Let's see here, so 34? No, it's 39. Oh my god, I'm getting 6% damage negation per fragment? That's absurd. That's like... Oh my god. I think this might end up being more than my armor. Like, if you just... Like, my normal negation, if I collect 2 or 3 more fragments, that might genuinely be more than my armor provides me. That is an absurd difference. Okay, so what's this place? Probably a boss arena or something. Oh, no, wait, it just leads me back to the central square, huh? Or no, this is somewhere different. More spirit ashes. They really want my spirit ashes to be pumped up, huh? I mean, that's one way of making the game a bit easier, I guess, is summoning a Mimic Tier. I know, summoning a Mimic Tier is, like, cheap, but at the same time, I got, like, 2-shot by a gigantic flaming Wicker Man at the front gates. I'm gonna be cheap if this game is. What the hell did Marika do here? Like, that does not look healthy, even by the Erdtree. And I set the damn thing on fire. Tower of Shadow message. I set the Erdtree on fire, and even I think this place kind of looks effed up. A message left by the Needle Knight Leda, addressed to kindred spirits who also pursue Miquella's trail. The gate of divinity lies in the tower sealed by shadow. That is surely where kind Miquella is headed. We are no Imperiums, but we must locate the path that will lead us there. I will follow the crosses east. So, for reference, Imperiums are like candidates for godhood. Technically, they could theoretically be successors to America and rule over the lands between with a consort. Like, well, but they're generally governed by the greater will or influenced by some other outer gods. Ranni didn't want any of that shit. She didn't like the Two Fingers at all. For good reason. They're kind of assholes. O Tower of ours, hidden in shadow, a lofty spiral piercing the heavens. Our spiral shall lead him safety unto greater godhood. And in divinity grant our salvation. So Marika screwed this place up, and for some reason Miquella has come here to try and, what, fix the wrong? I don't know, because, like, they say Miquella is, like, the kindly one, you know? The good one. But all the demigods have been different flavors of kind of awful. Even Ranni... Look, there was another demigod called Godwyn, who was now a Prince of Death, because Ranni got this whole plot that she wanted her body dead, but she didn't want her soul dead. So that way she could possess a puppet and transcend her Empyrean flesh, which bound her to the greater will. In doing so, she'd be allowed to pursue her destiny and usher in an age of stars and dark moonlight, which I personally think is one of the better endings, morally speaking. Or at least from my personal values perspective, an age of new knowledge and loneliness and darkness kind of sounds better than the Golden Order's whole conquering new lands thing, and a journey across the stars kind of sounds pretty epic, so I'm on board with that. Anyway, her brother Godwyn, though, was one of Marika's original children, or the original 3 we know of, with Godfrey, her first husband. And Ranni kind of maybe plotted with assassins to have him killed using a fragment of the Rune of Death she stole in secret, while she used the other piece to kill her body while Godwyn died a death of soul. That way neither of them died fully, leaving Godwyn kind of like a sort of pseudo-living dead person, and creating those who dwell in death in the process, I think. So she isn't exactly great. Like, she's technically just trying to free herself from the machinations of an outer god, and she does believe this is her destiny and that she has a obligation to it. But she also got her brother, well, she plotted to have her brother killed. That's really all you need to know right there about her priorities. Yes, for my Dark Moon, I shall kill my freaking half-brother. Technically, he was like a step-brother at the time because she didn't know that Radagon was also Marika's, so maybe that makes it better. She was technically a step-brother because Radagon had children with Renala. I don't know. Still a little effed up, Ronnie. Still a little effed up. Alright, so I guess we gotta go to these like dungeons over here and go through them. They're fairly small, though. I was expecting the DLC for the Elden Ring to be a bit, I don't know, bigger. So I guess you're going to be helping us out if we feel like it. That's nice. Touch the cross. I abandon here the first of the flesh of my body. Wait, was he literally shedding his mortal form like Ronnie did, but without the Rune of Death? That was interesting. Wait, wouldn't that mean he was shedding his ties to the Greater Will? Because the Greater Will is tied to them through their physical flesh. That's why Ronnie killed herself. Sort of. She just like a ghost that controlled that possessed a puppet that she made in her image. Yeah, she literally had a doll of herself made, which she then possessed, and it had 4 arms and everything. But like, Nicola believed in the Golden Order, didn't he? Or at least to an extent, and he wanted to perfect it. He was even close with Radagon. They made each other twin sorceries that were paired together. Nicola made him one, and then he made a deviation of that as a response. Like, he was the favored child in a lot of ways. By everyone. That's why Moog kidnapped him. He was in love with him. Yes, Moog was in love with his half-brother. Technically his whole brother, because Marika and Radagon are the same freaking person. Which, again, Moog, buddy, get a life. And not Mikola's. You're not allowed to have Mikola's life. Sorry. Alright, let's try killing this guy now. Hey, you can dodge through it. That's good to know. Oof, mistimed that. God damn it. Freaking annoying. You know what? I might just try this. It might be fire, but it's fire that does percentage health damage. Wait, it should. I don't really know what the deal with that is. Ah. I had the dodge timing down, and then I just kind of started messing it up. This is tedious. I feel like I'm fighting this wrong. Or maybe you're supposed to fight this, like, way later. Oh, shit. Yeah. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. You know when you, like, are technically doing something to a boss? Okay, well, wait. Here it goes. Get the critical, get the critical. Okay, how much damage is this going to do? Okay, see, that I'm doing right. There, we're doing it right. There we go. God damn it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try and... Ooh. Well, I know I can kill him now. I can dodge most of his attacks. I just don't know how to dodge that one freaking annoying one. Now, there is an ability on a shield that can make me invincible, and I could probably swap to it. I feel like I'm probably supposed to, like, get on my horse and run away when I see him powering up. Honestly, though, if I just started, like, chugging my thing immediately instead of trying to get that secondary jump attack, it probably would have been fine. Oh, and I can also summon my Mimic Tier. I'm a freaking idiot. Probably should just summon my Mimic Tier. Alright. Okay, Davis, stop activating spells. I'm a freaking moron. I actually didn't mean to activate those. I was trying to swap to something else, and I kept hitting the wrong button. Okay. First off, let's activate the fire resistance before we get close to the giant burning wicker man. That would probably help. So, protection of the Erdtree, protection of the Erdtree. Because this lasts a decent amount of time. So let's do blessing of the Erdtree and then protection of the Erdtree, and then we can get close in. Alright, now we go in. We're a little bit closer, so we get the Mimic Tier out. He's probably going to be fighting those for a bit, but he should join us shortly. Also, if I was a mage, I could probably just, you know, attack its face directly from the beginning. Okay, so I can stun him if I just, like, keep... Well, the fire resistance has made that better. Alright. Got him down. Hello, buddy. You deserve a critical to the face. For all that murder you did to me. Mistimed that dodge. Didn't mistime that one, though. And my blessings wore off. That get him? He is down! He is down! The giant fire golem is down! Deflecting hard tier and... Ooh, a new tier. Those are for the physics flask. Those are interesting. Wasn't expecting to find more of these here. What does this one do? Damage negation and guard poise will be heightened in the moment immediately after assuming the guarding stance. So I guess it's like specifically for that weird blocking effect where you like do the block at the right time and you get a sort of parry-like effect. That's kind of cool, actually. They did it to, I think they did it to make shields, including great shields, a little bit better, because in the older games, really, parrying shields were mostly what you used. There were moments where I used a shield, but after a while, I just kind of got to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I could just dodge stuff. Alright, so we're doing pretty well. Yep. We got a bunch of Mikola simps around here. Everybody loves Mikola. Wonder if any of the other demigod children are felt a little jealous about how everyone loves Mikola. Ah, a bridge. Is a dragon gonna show up and burn me to a crisp? No? Seriously, what the hell is the deal with the broken Erdtree? That's my real question. Oh, fun. A ballista. Because I've never seen this before. Bob and weave. Bob and weave. And then kill the person manning it. Switch to Blasphemous Blade. Dual Power Stone Strike. Whoop. Shing. Alright, buddy. You get the blade. It's actually really good for clumped up groups of enemies, because every hit restores a little bit of HP. If you use it against hordes, the Blasphemous Blade is basically just like, I'll just get hit using it and heal more than I take damage. It could be crazy. Used to be amazing, too, because it used to, like, stagger basically everything, but now it doesn't. Hey, that's the Radagon move. That's the thing he does in his boss fight, where he smacks down with that stupid hammer of his over and over and over again. Somebody's a fan of Radagon. Also, whenever I kill an enemy, I get a little bit of health back. So this is like a surprisingly tanky build. Hey, look at me. I'm standing in fire. Honestly, you know what? Photo mode. That's a sweet shot. I like that shot. I can be a little vain. I love that the fire doesn't hurt you. Don't know why. Lava hurts you. But for some reason, Miyazaki decided to be nice to us and not make the fire hurt. Also, fire dogs, Miyazaki. Really? What is your deal, Miyazaki? Why do you insist on making dogs and birds so annoying in your games? Hey, at least they're not the teleporting dogs of Dark Souls 3. I am not a fan of Dark Souls 3, really. It's a weird thing with me. I love the Soulsborne series. I freaking hate Dark Souls 3 so much. I am not a fan. Dark Souls 1 is amazing. It's a very well put together game. Falls off a little bit in the second half, but not a ton. And quite frankly, it's still very, very good. Demon's Souls is the experiment that all the others came from, so it gets points for just that alone. Hello, what are you, Mr. Abomination? You look almost like a Misbegotten or an Omen, but not really like any of them. Like a weird fat bat person. See that face? Love the enemy designs. Anyway, Demon's Souls was a cool experiment, and I like some of the things about it. Particularly, I like the way you can actually de-level your character by getting your soul sucked either by an NPC, the final boss, or by another player. Those are all really cool things about that one. Dark Souls 2 is actually kind of a weird favorite for me because I agree it has problems, but I also think it did a lot of interesting things. It was the first game where power stancing, which is being able to wield two weapons and actually do double attacks like this, that was the first game where that was a thing. If you wielded weapons that were compatible, that were like of the right types together, and you had 1.5 times the strength you needed to wield them, then you would actually be able to like go into this dual wielding stance when you tried to two-hand a weapon, and you would get the power stance moveset. And it was the first game that did that. And Elden Ring obviously did that with this, L1 button when you're dual wielding two weapons of the same type was directly taken from Dark Souls 2. It also had hexes, it also had the whole thing with dark magic, which is both faith and intellect, which was also copied in Dark Souls 3. It had just a weird soul matching memory thing that, was easily abused by twinks who wanted to just low-level invade. But I do like the cost that you can't buy a bunch of consumables, at least. I do wish they'd included some weapon-based matchmaking in that, or at least some level-based matchmaking in addition to soul memory. Either of those combined with soul memory, I think they would have been fine. People complain about adaptability, but I actually don't really much anymore because I suddenly realized that, oh wait, that was not why I was dying when I first played Dark Souls 2. I was just dying because I was bad. Because it turns out attunement, which is the main thing you use to equip more spells, which as a spellcasting player that I usually am, I had a lot of, increases your speed that was used to get extra iframes and rolls at a third of the rate that adaptability did, but 15 adaptability is fine, so I had like 80 attunement, and I was just like, I don't care. So combining all those things together, and the fact that it had a remarkably great build variety, and I played some of the PvP a while back. I actually went back and played a bit of Dark Souls 2, and the PvP is crazy good. Like, people talk about Elden Ring's PvP, that's kind of what Dark Souls 2 was like, except the build variety is still insane. There are so many options. And the cool thing is that a lot of the really overpowered builds weren't available to twink builds. Like, you could get a Dark Bead build going at a low level in Dark Souls 1. I actually did it. I invaded at really low level, like level 16, using Dark Bead and the Catalyst that had a fixed casting modifier, so I actually got really good damage on it. Thing is, when you do that, I was invading specifically in the Undead Parish, and yeah, there were 1 or 2 people low level. Sometimes I would just, like, go out if it looked like they were about to fight the boss, and I'm like, I'm not going to ruin their day. But a lot of what I fought was, like, 3v1s, which were kind of fun when you're overpowered. Dark Souls 2 doesn't really have that, though. Yeah, there are definitely, like, the twink builds, but they're mostly, like, rapier stuff, and, you know, the usual. There wasn't really a really overpowered low-level magic build for Dark Souls 2. And that's because the best spell was this dark magic spell, and the gimmick of it was that it actually, in order to, whenever you cast this particular family of spells, it would devour a certain number of the souls you were carrying. So I think like the first one was like up to like 200, I think, or 500. The next one was up to like 1,000, and the final one was up to like 5,000 souls, which is a lot of souls to be repeatedly using to fuel a spell. They even had a final version that ate up all your souls, and it was like if you had like up to 10,000, that would be when the damage got affected by it. And basically you got more damage the more souls were fed into it. Which you can't really do with Dark Souls 2 Soul Memory. It was specifically designed to be a powerful spell, but only for people who were actively not trying to keep their soul memory at a low range, because you can't do that and have souls for the spell to fuel. Which I thought was really cool. It was something, I don't think I've actually seen another spell where they let you get more damage by eating up souls for casting. It's such an interesting mechanic that I genuinely don't understand why they haven't brought it back. I think it was really cool. Dark Souls 2 had a lot of ideas like that. They even had this one fight where you had to go around finding and freeing these ice knights, and they would help you open parts of the level. But if you explore the whole level, you get a bunch of them, all 4 of them, and they would actually descend into the boss room with you and help you in the fight. What the hell is this thing? No, it's just one of the goblins. Why was it hopping around on one leg? It was using its staff to hop around and hit me. What the actual... A Grave Glowwort 1? Really, Miyazaki? Do you actually think any person who has not upgraded a Spirit Ashes... I probably should have noticed that, the blood on the ground. Okay, so what's the deal with this ceiling? Oh, part of the room. Alright, run. Oh, no, it's not just that part of the room. I hate these things so much. These freaking little imps are so annoying. So this half of the room seems safe. Run back. Whew. Alright, there's nothing in there. But yeah, I think Dark Souls 2 is probably underrated. If I had to rate them, Bloodborne is at the top, obviously. I think I would probably rate, like, Dark Souls 1 and Elden Ring next together. I think they're kind of, like, tied for me. Then Dark Souls 2 at number 3. Actually, no. It'd be Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Dark Souls 1 and 2 are tied. Because I think Dark Souls is a masterpiece, but Dark Souls 2 is a flawed game that has a lot of innovative ideas. So I think they kind of work well together for me. Then it would be Demon Souls. And then Sekiro, even though I don't really count that one as like a Soulsborne because you don't really upgrade stats or create unique builds. You're mostly just parrying everything. And then after all of that, Dark Souls 3. And I'm not even really a fan of Dark Souls 3 as like a game. I like the lore, I like the world, I like even some of the bosses. I'm just not a fan of like the game itself. Although I gotta say, this area does remind me a lot of like the really, really resistant enemies in Dark Souls 2's DLC. Wow, just like since when do they have cannons? I'm sorry, since when do these little imps get cannons? Ow. No. Bad. Stop that. Bad boy. Go to bed. Die. I actually should probably be... Let me swim my darts, because there's these weird darts that can make them fight each other. I probably should be using those. Crystal darts can disrupt constructs and make them fight each other, which is... Elden Ring has so many weird and interesting interactions, like water both increases lightning damage and lets it spread a bit, and also decreases fire damage. You have the, well, obviously you have the weird crystal dart things. You have the way that Morgoth Shackle can activate basically any of the things where you hit something to deactivate a trap. So you can use it to deactivate the fire spitting things, which is so cool. It's just like a lot of weird interactions that I like. And there are tons of like obscure things like that in the game. What is it? Like you can jump attack these giant flamethrower tank things and immediately explode them, or you can stab them from behind. Lightning what's one of the other weirder ones? Trying to think. I mean, obviously sleep is really good on dual bosses. It actually keeps them asleep for a while. Oh, the darts don't just work on these minor constructs, they also work on the golems as well. But they don't work on the gargoyles, which makes sense because we've seen the Prince of Death's area, that catacomb, that river area, that they are kind of fleshy underneath, so maybe they were all armored and alive, and like the golems, which are clearly full-on constructs. Hello, Mr. Cannon. Have you tried dying? The only time I really want to use these darts is if... Boom. Let me make sure I'm not missing any hidden areas. Ooh, what's that? Let me see. Does that open a secret door? That kind of looks like it's highlighting something. Nope, probably not. Let's pop a boiled crab to have some more physical resistance before we hop in there. And also I might not be able to heal if they swarm me, so this. And Golden Vow. I read online that the Golden Vow stacks with that, but I don't think it does. Ow. What is... That's annoying. The projectile is shooting backwards at me. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. That's a really cool spell. Not only is it direct attack, but it also, while it continues to travel very slowly, it fires back at the person you were targeting. I gotta give them credit for that. That's a really interesting thing. I'm really gonna be interested to play that in my sorcerer build. I actually have like a super over-leveled level 200 person who's a Fate in dual caster with the Prince of Death staff. It was basically my New Game Plus thing, but I've just never gone to New... Oh, no, I haven't gone to New Game Plus yet. Because I just didn't feel like it. There wasn't really anything new. You can get basically everything you want in the main game. Actually, that's one of the other things I really liked in Dark Souls 2, is that you didn't really need to go to New Game Plus. I mean, there were a handful of things you needed to actually go to New Game Plus for, but you could also just burn a bonfire aesthetic and upgrade the area to New Game Plus level without actually having to reset your game to New Game Plus. It also was really cool, too, because like the first half of the game, you can either get a certain number of... You can either get the 4 Great Souls in order to open these gates and proceed to like the big, Fallen Kingdom area, which in that game was Drain Lake. Or you could get a certain amount of souls. And you can actually get those souls by just going down to one of the bosses called the Rodden, killing him, using the bonfire aesthetics found one way to revive the area into New Game Plus, killing him again because it's a pretty easy boss, and then do that 2 more times and you'll have enough souls to just skip there. Which means most people run straight for the Rodden and then just go to the main area. They like skip huge portions of the game in speedruns. It's really cool. And it also lets you get New Game Plus items that like the bosses will all drop something else during New Game Plus, or a lot of them do anyway. Like an additional spell or a powerful soul from like an old previous Dark Souls 1 reference, because the whole thing is that everything that's happened will happen forever because Gwyn fucked everything up. And it was a really cool idea, because I like the idea of like, hey, I just want to fight that boss again. Can I just like upgrade it to New Game Plus and fight it again, please? Sure. I'm like, why did they not keep that feature? That was such a cool feature, in my opinion. That you could just like selectively upgrade an area you want to play again to New Game Plus and do it all over. I loved it. Like, I genuinely just freaking loved it. Alright. Still haven't found the actual frickin' way around here. Where's the boss? Is it down here? Maybe. Oh, boss hope. Oh, new enemies. Yay. You're not dead. Thank you, Blasphemous Blade, for giving me helped up. I'm also using the Ritual Sword Talisman, which means when I'm at full health, I do like an extra 10% of damage or something like that. It's a pretty nice talisman, actually. I didn't used to play with it because I was like, when am I going to be at full health? I'm going to get hit minor damage and then basically a talisman slot is wasted for that whole fight. But I've since revised my opinion on it, and I died. Way to go, imps. You totally got me. I had the crystal darts. I should have used them. I also... Oh, Snake of Marika. Good. Maybe I don't have to go through that entire dungeon all over again. That'd be nice. Oh, thank goodness. I'm actually not that far from where I died. When there are multiples. Now they should fight each other, right? Yep, there they go. And then I get my health back like that. And then we grab my souls, or my runes, I guess. I always say souls, because, I'm just so used to souls. It was Blood Echoes and Bloodborne, I still say souls. Bloodborne, my favorite game. Dark Souls will forever have been my first Souls experience. It's actually kind of funny. I played Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3... Then I played Bloodborne, even though Bloodborne came out before Dark Souls 3. Then I went back and played Demon Souls. Then I played Elden Ring. No, I played Sekiro, then Elden Ring, I think. Yeah, Sekiro, then Elden Ring. I'm still not a huge Sekiro fan. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's very well designed. It's just not doing what I wanted. It's a Souls-like if you only got to play as a parrying dex build, and that's how you were expected to play the whole game. Whereas I'm not the best at shield parrying, which is the weird, very fast-paced combat, close-range parrying they wanted you to do. I'm just really bad at that. I can get better at it, but particularly the type of parrying Sekiro. Oh my. Oh, that's rude. So you want me to run down an aisle as gigantic spikes try and impale me while I'm being shot at by a billion lasers. Miyazaki, you are an asshole. This is coming from the man who designed Blight Town, I might add. Ow. And, of course, an imp comes in here with me. Because why wouldn't it? Let's not fall down the hole. Oh joy, my headphones died just as my headphones died, so I gotta plug them in after I'm done with this fight, but I can't hear anything from this fight, which means I can't hear the mages winding up their spells and know when to dodge. Hey, a-hole, die please. Alright, now I just need a... Oh, good thing I did not go to plug my headphones in, this thing would have killed me. These imps are like weirdly aggressive. Like, they're not even that strong, it's just they attack a lot, very rapidly, and they can just take you down in an instant if you don't respect them. Let's see. Plug it in my headset. Let's go. When you use a wireless headset, and it dies on you, and so then it's just a worse... Then it's just a wired headset. Come on. Go in there. Ah, come on. Okay. There we go. Now I can hear again. Hearing is very important in Dark Souls games. I do not underestimate hearing in these games because I have literally killed bosses when I couldn't see them moving their arms just by listening for their attacks. That's not a joke. I have basically fought some bosses by staring at their feet as I smack and listening for the sound of their wind-up. I honestly think that... I want to say I'd be able to beat it better without sight than without hearing, but you need sight to not fall off ledges. If it weren't for that, if somebody could stop me from falling off ledges, I think I would rather actually just be able to hear and have somebody direct me in the game via verbal commands. It's like the boss is right in front of you. Go, go, go. It's like, yes, I would take hearing. Rather than someone else having to listen for the wind-ups and tell me. Also, Miyazaki, what is with the death ceiling? Seriously, man. Do you enjoy watching us become perforated pancakes? Honestly, I kind of wonder. Oh! This must be one of those secret elevators. First off, down. No, it is not a secret elevator. You lied, comment. However, we have found the boss room. So, let's see what the boss is. First, our pre-combat buffing spells. Golden Vow. Then we're going to cause a protection. Okay, what do we got here? Whoa! What is it with all the enemies and having, like, these rail guns? They're like, hey, yeah, we're going to fire off, like, 10 projectiles at once. Okay, stop that, you asshole. Oh shit. Got him! Hey, we didn't even need the Mimic here for this fight. Nice. Oh, look, it's part of the Prince of Death, so... Wait. Isn't this thing related to the Prince of Death, like Godwin? This is like a death pustule or whatever, right? No, but the catacombs are where you go to get reborn at the Erdtree's roots, so maybe it's something different? I thought this thing, this repeated, well, fleshy face was associated with Godwin, the Golden, the one who died, Prince of Death. Maybe not? This looks like an Erdtree burial catacomb, actually. It functions the exact same way, but we're in the Shadowlands, which is beyond the Erdtree's grace. The whole thing, correct me if I'm wrong, the whole thing with the burial grounds, they're supposed to be burial grounds for people who died in the Erdtree, because even though death isn't really a thing, and I died. Even though death isn't technically a thing, when you die, you get buried at the Erdtree's roots and kind of like reborn anew. So death isn't a thing, but reincarnation sort of is. It was unclear in the way it was described, but it's supposed to... I think it's supposed to have something to do with why we're coming back to life, but I'm probably wrong on that. Still, it is interesting, though, that something like this would be here. Maybe this is like another Erdtree, or it's the shadowed areas of the Erdtree, like where the Erdtree's shadow grows, like maybe like Mufasa style. That's the dark area. Wherever the shadow touches, we don't go, or something like that. Still, the entire lands around the Erdtree was explorable in the game, aside from the small area behind it, huh? So maybe that was it? But that didn't look like there was land. It looked like it was just, like, ocean or something. Alright, you assholes. Get out of my way. Oh, frick. Bleed build up like crazy. Let me go back to my other map. So the Erdtree is right here. Are we here? In this shadow area? That doesn't make sense. There's water right here. How could we be here? Maybe we're here. This might be where we are, actually, right over here in the shadows part. Maybe. That's my best guess, at least. I can't really think of anywhere else we could be. Maybe we're in the realm of shadows, so maybe not a physical place, like it says. But it still feels odd that there would be an Erdtree burial mound here. I mean, there's some desiccated Erdtree-looking thing in the distance. We know America stole something, committed some kind of, like, cardinal sin here. So maybe that has something to do with it? Don't know. But I'm interested to find out. Uh-oh. That's a bear. And it dies fairly easily. Hey, lumps of flesh. For all those meaty bones. That's for people who don't have miracles, however. Or incantations in this game. I actually have a Ronnie Witch build saved up for this too that I'm going to run through the DLC with. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream that. Depends on how long this takes, honestly. Like, if I get through this DLC in, like, 2, maybe 3 sessions, I might decide to just do some more of it. Play some Ronnie. I think I actually already went through the ending on this character too. Yeah, I went through the Dark Moon ending with Ronnie, because that's the ending I usually do anyway. Unless I'm doing a Frenzy build, in which case you do the Frenzy Flame so you get access to that sweet regeneration item that only works if you're a Frenzy Flame player. Any MTG ideas? Honestly, a few. There was actually one thing I was thinking of with the... What was it? I'm trying to remember. It was an idea I had earlier today. Oh, gods, please don't let me forget it. Did I write it down? Shit. When you have ideas, you need to write them down. Or record them in some way so you don't forget. I'm bad at that. It was something to do with the Cthulhu monsters. I was trying to remember what it was. Oh, shoot. Right, but that thing. Okay. So, I was talking about the Cthulhu monster stuff in the Emerge. Oh, yeah. Since since the theme is like body parts erupting, emerging from the ether, I was actually going to try and have like an Emerge land, maybe? But instead of a mana cost for basically it would be like a creature land. My mind is a steel trap. A steel trap. I think you got it right originally. I think you got steel tarp. Why would you say steel tarp after you said steel trap? You got it right the first time. And then you just kind of... Oh... But no, I was actually going to think about doing an Emerge creature that's a double-sided with a land. So, like, the base land would be a mountain, or a plains, or a forest, or a swamp. And then each of those would emerge into a blue... And then each of those would have the other side be a blue creature with an Emerge cost that has a single hybrid mana. And so you make a cycle of it emerging out of each of the main pieces of our factions. So, like, the Starborn people, it emerges out of, like, the homes of the Starborn and tries to consume them. So you could have that be, like, this, like, tentacle monster of hair. Then you could have some kind of gruesome bone construct rising out of the, home of the black, the black tap, land. And each of the lands could just be, modal lands. So it's just, one side they have a tap land, and the other side they have a blue Emerge creature with a hybrid Emerge cost, but it is just blue. Which I'm not sure if I would do. I thought it'd be an interesting design, but I'm not sure if it'd be good for like the whole everyone against blue, because that feels more like you're splashing blue, which is kind of what we were kind of going for the color hate thing, and I wasn't sure if that would be a great idea. However, if we had it be like one blue and some other stuff, instead of the other thing I was thinking of, instead of like the big monsters, I could also have it set up so that it's not a creature. Like, it's a land, it's a normal monocolor tap land on one side. But the other side is an Emerge non-creature spell. So, like, the red could have, like, a cool instant or sorcery. Black could have an artifact. White could have a enchantment. Or an artifact. I'm still trying to think of how it would go. And the idea is that the Emerge cost is, like, mostly has to appeal for people to hate it. Right. So the idea with the artifacts is that it's a multicolor spell, but it has a hybrid Emerge cost. So like a blue-white non-creature. And it's each group harnessing the power of the Emerge cost. I think Emerge is specifically for blue, though. I mean, not for blue, for permanent. So I don't think I could have, like, an instant or sorcery. But I do think it would be cool to see like how each construct utilizes the chaotic energy theme I have going on for like the way the Erdtree emerge out of nothingness. So maybe like each of the factions figure out a way to harness that into like a powerful weapon, and have that be a cycle of hybrid land / artifact cards. Maybe that might be cool. The other thing I'm thinking of is like a blue Leviathan made out of skulls. So it's like it's basically like a worm of skulls, which could kind of be cool, but I'm maybe thinking maybe it's like fleshing. I'm trying to do more like weird eldritch flesh. I'm not sure if bone will work right for what I'm like the kind of theme I'm going for, but we'll see. The other thing I was thinking of is that I could go sort of like, all right, hear me on this. It would be like Exodia, but putting them together doesn't win you the game. It's just each of them are like a piece of the like full-grown Eldritch horror, like Cthulhu's claws, or Cthulhu's right hand, or Cthulhu's head, Cthulhu's wings, that kind of thing. And each of them would have, like, their own effect. And they basically just be, like, pieces of him. As, like, big blue cards to have going on. Maybe, like, uncommons. And maybe, like, most of them are uncommons that funnel the blue effects well. And then the head is, you know, the rare or the bomb. Because, you know, Cthulhu's head gets manifested. You're kind of in trouble. Aside from that, I was also thinking of an effect that whenever a blue card is sent... Whenever a blue permanent leaves the battlefield, the creature that has this gets like +1/+1, like a rallying kind of ability, you know? So like whenever blue is defeated, everyone has fun. Yeah, kind of like Helm of Culture. Yeah, actually, a lot like that cycle, except they're not artifact creatures. Yeah, and maybe they do something when they're all out. That's actually kind of, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of, actually. Helm of Culture is an excellent example. Again, the other thing I was thinking of is maybe like a rallying effect, like some kind of effect where I just put this on cards, and whenever a blue permanent goes to the battlefield, it activates like a landfall style trigger. Which maybe, I don't know. I feel like that one's a little weird, like maybe just a little too generic color hating. But it would allow me to like use a keyword and maybe give a keyword some support. And that could like be a keyword that everyone shares, aside from blue, which could be kind of cool. I do want to think of a good keyword for these Eldritch creatures besides just Emerge. Emerge is a really cool theme for it. But I want some kind of like other interesting effect for them. So I've been trying to think of like, you know, madness style effects, but all of those are all discard or draw, discard or mill. And I'm not really sure I want that to be the theme for the big hitting blue creatures. I don't want them to be just Eldrazi but blue, if that makes sense. Because you already have the Eldrazi like Ulamog who just mills half your library. And I'm not really sure I want to repeat that style of gameplay. Because if you make... The thing is with the mill on stuff like that, Constellation, since they're all enchantment, Constellation could actually work. That actually is pretty good. And we already have the star theme, so it would work well as like flavorfully. The mechanic works flavorfully as well. That's kind of nice. Good idea. From space. They are from space. Also, they have a sword called Milady now. What's the backhanded blade? Oh, cool. They have like dual reverse grips. Hey, look. I'm edgy now. I wield my swords facing backwards so I can Naruto run. I wield my swords backwards so I can Naruto run. Look. So edgy. Backhanded blades are interesting, though. I've heard cool things about them. Moveset seems decent. What's their running attack look like? Not the best. What's the crouch attack? Crouch attack's pretty good. Reminds me a lot of the dual Great Spear crouch attack. PvPers can just, like, whip this attack out like nobody's business. Oh, right. Somebody found a way to, like, utterly break one of the Ashes of War for these things. There's this weird dash move that looks a lot like the super slash thing Virgil does from Devil May Cry. Apparently it's, like, pure cancer, but not as much cancer as weapon shields, which are just so dumb from what I've heard. I listen to some PvP news because I'm always interested in, like, just kind of the periphery of that. I'm not a huge PvPer, but I do play in the Coliseum every once in a while. I'm not that great, but, you know, I play around. Every once in a while I run into someone who's just, like, way better than me. Suck it up and take my beatings. Alright. Where are all the enemies? Whenever I start going through an area and I don't see people, I get worried. Because I just know that means Miyazaki... See, when I see a chest like this, too, I'm like... Okay, nothing attacked me when I opened it. Is there an enemy that spawned out here afterwards? Some ranged enemy is looking to snipe me? No, Miyazaki just... Oh, there it is. There's the guy. trust it when Miyazaki puts a chest in an empty room. I just don't. Like, whenever I see that, I immediately get suspicious. Which, in Zelda, you would not get suspicious. In any other action game series, you'd be like, oh, new chest. Because that'd be like the sign of, hey, everything's good now. Carved words coalesce. I abandon here the flesh of my body. So yeah, he's abandoning his golden flesh. That's what makes him a demigod, though. He's pulling a Ronnie? Damn, Mikola. Didn't think you had it in ya. And you left your sister just sitting in the Erdtree. She's worried sick, you know that. Well, she was worried sick. I killed her on this playthrough already. But, yeah, again, you left your sister to literally rot away in a tree. Bad, Mikola. Bad. Let's see how much that increased it by. My gods, the amount of damage resistance you get in this new... I mean, you need the damage resistance with the amount of damage these enemies are doing, but still... Could go around that... Oh, it looks like I have to go down that way. And you have Ghost Flame. Or is that the St. Trina's Flame because of the smoke? What's down? Miyazaki, you are an evil person. You're lucky I look. Miyazaki. Otherwise, I would have been trapped down there with a bunch of dogs. You are an evil asshole. This is Miyazaki for you. Do not ever blindly jump down somewhere. You will get ganked to death if you do it. And you know what? You will deserve it. You weren't paying attention. You get ganked. Alright, I killed 2 of them. That should be good. Yep, there was a 3rd one. I called it. He always puts them in 3s. But it had to get up. So while that happened... Situational awareness is what will actually save you in these games. You can be as good at dodge rolling as possible, but your first time in an area is defined by your situational awareness. If you're not looking right in the right areas, you will get ganked to death. What's with the weird curtains? It almost looks like... I don't know. Not really like Fia... Yeah, it looks like we're in Fia's bedchambers or something. Weird. That's what they remind me of. Yeah, this would definitely kill me. Let's go back the other way. Nope, already wasn't here. It's already in here. Go up. Let's head up. Oh, fun. Platforming. And me without the ability to summon my horse. Is this safe? When Miyazaki gives you a platforming challenge, you don't actually know if they're platforming for sure. Somebody said there's a dog ahead. Which I don't know if it's true or not, so we'll just have to figure it out the hard way. Something's probably going to jump down the moment I go to get this item, isn't it? But I want the item so bad. Well, he said dog ahead, and I don't see any dog, so... I guess they were lying? I'm never sure. Oh, hey, you know what time it is. I hear the dogs barking, so you know what that means. Blade is upset. Or Blide is upset, depending on how you'd like to say it. I say Blade. I just think that sounds cooler. But I've heard Kale call him Blide, so... Situational awareness. Always prepare for the enemy behind the corner. And don't get ganked. This is advice I do not follow, but I give regardless. I should follow my own advice, you know, and be more situationally aware. Ah, the lever. I remember these gates. These things are fun. Actually, I don't think we had many of these in Elden Ring. There wasn't a lot of, like, open the gate from the other side stuff going on. Which is a little interesting. Like, most of the gates that you open just had a lever next to them. They didn't have, like, the big crank wheel, which was a lot more common in Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Ow. Hello, Archer, you a-hole. Okay, I'm tired of you. There we go. Now I can kill you for real. Also, passive healing is nice. Like, really nice. There's actually a shield that restores like 2 HP per second. And a few other items that will restore health. The Royal Remnants will restore a bunch of health at per second, but only while you're under 25%. But it's a really good armor set if it perfectly matches your, like, if it ends up being the armor set that's like best for you to wear for that weight, you just wear it, because even if there's like one or two that'd be like a little bit better, because a point or two of difference doesn't make up for the fact that basically being like unable to basically constantly restoring 25% health can be really useful, especially if you have a big health bar. But if you're going like big health bar, you probably have decent armor. Hey, I fought your brother back at, oh my gods, that sword. Look at that damage. What the actual hell? I have like level 3 Erdtree resistances now, and he still nearly killed me with 60 vigor in one hit. Like, that's an overkill second hit, where he just knocked off over 50% of my health bar. Like, what the actual fuck? That's insane. Seriously, this DLC does not play around. Miyazaki just decided, screw it, Erdtree will give them resistances. Let it be a one-shot at 60 vigor if they don't have 3 of them. Like, what the actual hell, Miyazaki? I have questions about that attack. That's like min-maxed player damage. And that greatsword, I know that greatsword. That greatsword is shit. It should not be doing that kind of damage. What is he got, the magic scorpion charm? Clearly not. Okay, you little a-holes need to get out of my way. Alright, we need to prep for this fight. Golden Vow. And then Protection of the Erdtree. We're going to stack an Aura, a Regeneration, and then we're going to Flask of Wondrous Physics, so we have Stamina Regeneration. Alright, we're buffed. Let's go. We're buff. Let's take this asshole out. Well, with these are my buffs, I'm not dying immediately. See, that's what happens when you try and drink from an empty flask in the middle of combat. You get jump attacked. Take that. Okay, it's a different sword. It's not the Giant's one. It's a completely different sword. That's why I did so much freaking damage. See, it looks exactly like the Troll Sword. Look at this. That is the same freaking model. Wait, it has the same stats, too. What the actual hell? Look at this. The damage numbers are identical. What is this? Is it literally just a unique variant of that has a unique skill? I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen a unique item that's literally just identical to a normal item, but with a different skill. That's weird. I mean, like, exact same stats and damage. Frickin' what? Oh, Marika, I beg, embrace your child. And give us a sign. How long must this holy war stretch on? Oh, Marika declared another holy war. Who could have guessed? I could guess. I mean, they declared it on the... Wait, this is the sorcerers. What the hell? What are the Rhea Lucaria sorcerers doing here? Yeah, it looks like a Rhea Lucaria school. Flintstone hats and all. Odd. DLC. DLC, what does that mean? Is that just like your answer to why we have the same weapon with the same stats? They just needed more stuff for the DLC, so they created a unique skill, slapped on a weapon, and was like, yep, that's a new item. The worst part is if it's a unique skill, you can't even put it on other items. Because unique skills can't be put on other items, and the items they're on can't be infused. Hello, Mr. Pikeman. Sorry, but you must die. Because I would like to move forward. And that's why the Blasphemous Blade rules. Well, that and the healing. Just tanking through attacks with healing flames. Frickin' awesome. Taker's Flame is just so good. And you can actually slap on a talisman called Taker's Cameo, which gives you even more health when you kill enemies, on top of the health bonus you get for killing enemies with the sword. It's just... oh, fantastic. It used to, like, knock down enemies when you hit them with it, too. Like, it would throw them in the air. But apparently From Software decided that was too broken and nerfed it just before the DLC came out, which, you know, sad face. I built this whole build and was like, oh, cool, overpowered build. And then it's like, nerf. Fair, though. I have a tendency for my builds to get nerfed, actually, right after I'm done, like, beating the main game. When I first played through, I played with the Sword of Night and Flame, which, like, I swear... a few days after I beat the Elden Beast for the first time, they were like, nerf to the Sword of Night and Flame. That thing is ridiculous, which it was. It was like a mini Comet Azer, which was like the one-shot kill kind of move, the giant laser beam spell, as a skill. In addition, it also had a fire skill as an alt fire, and it had the ability to what was the other thing it had the ability to do? Oh yeah, it was also a magic weapon and a fire weapon. So it could get those debuffs, like, you know, hitting something and giving it fire damage. The fire sweep was a big AoE thing. The magic one was a decently ranged at the time, focused magic blast. They reduced the magic blast and increased a bit of the FP cost, I think, and they also made it take a bit longer. The flames got a bit of a minor nerf, and then they was just kind of fine. Back in the day, though, Sword of Night and Flame was, if you were doing, like, a sorcerer build, you invested a bit of faith for that thing. Especially since you get the Dark Moon Greatsword till near the end of the game, but you can grab that really early in Rhea Lucaria. Or some people might call it Rhea Lucario. I think I've heard people call Lucaria, Rhea Lucaria, and make it reference to it being Lucario in at least 3 different YouTubers. Like, I think... wasn't Honest Trailers that did it. It was the guy who did, like, the... I think the main one I know is the guy who did the... what was it? The incorrectly summaried Elden Ring video. But Rusty, the guy who does a lot of tier ranking stuff, that I enjoy watching him do stuff. He's fun. His video, I think one of his videos also made that reference. And I forget who was the other person. Oh, who the hell are you? Rilana? You related to Renala? Twin Moon Knight. Well, you're aggressive. And I didn't get that off. Jeez. She's standing in water, so I won't get the full damage. Alright, well I'm dodging her at least. Try and get some lightning damage on her. Well, I procced Frostbite, I think. Holy jeez! What the actual hell? Black Flame is actually really good if you're doing a low-level build because it does percentile damage with its fire. Takes off like 2.5%, I think, or something like that. Which isn't much, but it does mean you can kill any enemy in 50 hits with that. She's a little difficult, not gonna lie. Ugh. Well, I got her halfway down. Probably buff before I go in there next time. Fortunately, I don't really care about my souls at the moment because, you know, I'm already fully leveled. Or runes. Also, I should probably turn off the Blight is upset thing because the dogs aren't barking anymore. Let's see here. I'm not really getting the Shard of Alexander benefit because I'm not really getting my weapon skill off here. So, first off, fire's just not going to work here, I don't think. She either has some decent resistance or she's just doesn't give a shit. Blackblade, perhaps? It's holy damage. I'm not sure how she's going to fare against holy damage. I don't feel like looking it up. So, let's see about that. Should I bother trying to get off a Scarlet Ionia? If I could get one off on her, and she is vulnerable. She looks human-ish, so she's probably vulnerable to Scarlet Rot, and if I can get one off on her, that might actually be useful. Alright, let's try this. And protection. Chug. Go inside. I probably should have actually removed that. Ooh. God damn it. I was hoping that would be able to distract her, but oh god. This is not going well. Hey buddy, can you do your job? Scarlet Rot, please. And she's infected. Cool. Ow. That will be a really cool spell to play around with on my own time. Reactivate Golden Valve before it disappears. Buff again. Black Blade. Percentile damage. Holy. It's actually a really good opening move because it also removes a chunk of her maximum health. Frickin' hell, Rilana. Rinala just kind of... Oh, she can get sleeped. See, this is why I keep pots in my inventory, because my Mimic can utilize them very well. Alright, we need to, like, get in there some. So I'll activate the Scarlet Rot, because that does seem to be pretty effective. And after that's done, though, what I'm going to do is I'll go in there from melee range, try and stun her a bit so my Mimic can get some hits in. So we'll open with the Black Blade. If I can get her to not attack me so aggressively. Alright. Time to open with the Black Blade to chunk off a chunk of her health. There we go. Then we go for Starlight Aeonia. Tinker's Cameo goes off from the clone. Ah, I should have dodged quicker. Nope. Meant to heal. Get out distance. Tinker's Cameo. Tinker's Cameo really is my main damage move. Aside from, like, the jump attacks. Oh boy, she went pot to Sullivan. I'm a little nervous now. What the hell is that insanity? Yeah, we need to kill her immediately. I do not want to be on the receiving end of that nonsense. Cool. Also, I saw how much health she has. She had 3,001. She had like a little over 3,100 because I got most of it in one go. We're into the Twin Blades. 2 attempts, not bad. Not 2. 3, I think, actually, right? Yeah, 3 attempts. 3 attempts, sorry. Hey, it's you! Yeah, I met them. I mean, yeah, you are a Zahn soldier for crying out loud. I thought those guys were all dead. Or, you know, insane. Wait, Charm? The Charm? Oh, so he is bewitching people. I mean, I know he has the bewitching... Oh. Yeah. America ordered one of her people to burn the whole place to the ground. That's a remarkably... You know, for a fantasy game, that's a remarkably interesting thing to say. It's like, yeah, they were never saints or anything, but they were people. They just happened to be on the other side of the war. Okay, that's not good. No new dialogue for talking to her again. May the best win. Okay. New cross. Thanks for that, buddy. Throw it all away. Huh. I mean, I burned the tree to the ground, buddy. And I also killed its, like, weird star god thing underneath. So... First off, let's activate Remembrance. I want to see what we get from, Rilana. Let's see what we get from her. I have these, like, really cool frickin' souls or remembrances, and I would like to see what I get from them. Also, I'm probably going to be signing out after this, too. Yeah, see, again, I burned this place to the frickin' ground, and the 2 fingers are doing that. No idea what their deal is. Okay. Raises the potency of storms? What is that? Is it lightning damage, or are they talking about like those Storm Ash of Wars? Divine Beast Frost Stomp. I guess I'd take the Talisman. Oh, that looks so freaking cool. It's another Moonblade. Oh my god, it's another sort of fire and it's another sort of Shadow and Flame, essentially. Rellana's twin blades. Let's see the lore. 2 swords and a weapon of Rellana, the Twin Moon Knight. They're carrying light greatswords embedded with blue glintstone. 2 swords is a single armament. When two-handing, a straight sword engraved with a golden flame will be carried in the left hand. Here and here alone, were moon and fire ever together. Is it talking about how like Rellana is it talking about how not Rellana but Renala and Radagon, because he had his flaming hair, and one of their children was Rykard, who had a lot of fire sorceries that were somewhat blasphemous. So a normal attack casts glintstone magical light waves, and a strong attack performs a spinning attack that bathes the area in flame. Yeah, it's basically a new upgraded greatsword version of the Sword of Night and Flame. That's really cool, and I might play around with it. And then you have the 2 moons. Associated with a Carian princess. Incarnate 2 overlapping twin moons which strike the ground one after the other, violently shaking the earth with moonlight. In her childhood, she and her elder sister Renala met these moons, overlapping as though nested against one another. So Rellana is Renala's sister. Okay, that's interesting. Because Renala became, head of Carian Academy and essentially the queen of Raya Lucaria, which went to war with the Erdtree and the Golden Order. But then she fell in love with Radagon, who was actually America, or maybe he wasn't America yet, but he eventually became America, or fusion danced with her. It's all very, very unclear, and there are so many theories about the freaking Radagon America thing. Like, was Radagon always just America in drag or something? Or were they 2 separate people at one point before they, became merged due to the Greater Will's machinations? We don't really know. However, what I do know is that it's almost 10 o'clock, and I have to get up tomorrow. And I've also killed, a bunch of bosses, more than I expected to be honest, tonight. Mimic Tier is really good. Let's just say that. We'll have to do this without the Mimic Tier sometime. Anyhow, for now, I'm going to go ahead and log off. And I guess I will see you next time. Bye.